I don't really know if I necessarily want to get married.
Do you want to have kids?
I do want to have kids.
But that means that you're planning to already bring this child into and have a deficit in their life, right?
Wow.
Do you think that a man should pay all your bills?
Feel that way. I'm not gonna lie.
You feel like he should take all bills?
Yeah, because if not, then I could just live by myself like I'm already doing.
And you have all these women talking about they got their hand out, but baby, you don't even know how to cook.
Right.
And even if you do know how to cook, your food is nasty. That's why he going to his side bitch getting the other meal.
What's up, YouTube? Portman Podcast back with another video. Give me the HBO special. That's the Help a Brother Out special. Hit the like and subscribe button for more content. Let's get right into the video.
I don't know. I just gotta see. We gotta figure out what type of time he on. You know, when the BDB jumps, you say how hard.
Right.
You know?
That's what you gotta do.
You know, so we have a term called a BDB, a big dick baller. We gonna get into that later because you low-key got you one, girl. She got my man. She out the game, y'all. I'm ready to take notes.
Right.
Every day
We
she
need to get
posting
us
some new
one.
shoes, some new jewelry, everything.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and get into these topics.
Okay.
So you are a relationship, we are very much not.
Right.
So the first topic
Very
we
much
wanted to
single.
talk about today is holding somebody down and fighting for your relationship versus leaving. Because I'ma leave. I can't. As soon as a nigga I text a nigga, he don't text me back in 3 minutes. I'm like, you know what? I'm posting Instagram posts. You know what? I'm a real bitch.
I'm texting
I'ma
another
be
nigga
alone.
already.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
That's problem
I
number
know.
one.
That's the problem.
I
The
mean-
attention. See, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why we need
That's
you.
why we talking to you, sis.
Okay, so what y'all want to know?
It's like, so are you a hold him down? I'm not leaving. We gonna work things out.
Well, when you say hold him down, like, what do you mean? Because, like, what? Like, hold down what?
Like hold down the relationship.
You mean
like
it's
sometimes
depending
men,
on what happened?
Yeah, like sometimes
Yeah.
men mess up.
Yeah.
Sometimes, men aren't perfect. They might slide in somebody's DMs, or they might be out, get drunk, passed out, not answer your phone call. Like stuff like that, it'll make me put my guard back up. I won't necessarily stop talking to you, but I always just feel like it's so many bitches, especially in Atlanta. We live in Atlanta. We know how it is
Yeah.
out here. So I just feel like if a nigga's not doing, paying attention to me, giving me the time, it's like, okay, you giving your time to somebody else.
Especially in the dating stage.
Right.
I think it's easy to be not interested anymore.
But I feel also it just depends on what type of man you're going for too. So therefore you have to hold yourself accountable for what type of guys you're going for. Because if you thinking already like that, like you going into a situation where you feel like, oh, he finna be cheating or he finna be fucking with somebody else, then that's not the one for you.
Right.
Exactly.
But what
And I think that we're not having an honest conversation sometimes, man. Like, we have these women, bro. You're 6, right? So women that are 6s are now getting this delusion that they're 10s from this just over promotion of every woman's a 10. You're a 10. You're a 10. And every woman's a bad B and all this and this and that. And so these women that are 6s, they go out and they seek these men that are 9s and 10s. And when they do that, they're out of their league. If we're just completely honest, you're dating out of your league. You knew that he was the most sought after guy in the bar. You knew that he had a lot of options, but you decided to be with him anyway. And that's a bad choice that you make in the men that you want to deal with. So what happens is women will go and seek these guys out that are out of their league. And that happens maybe 2 or 3 times for 2 or 3 years, right? And now your new reality is that all men cheat. And that's not the truth. The truth is the men that you decided to deal with because they have options cheated on you. So now you take that baggage and you go into a new relationship with an honest guy and you don't even know how to act. You think that anytime he doesn't give you attention, he's cheating on you. Well, no, that's just your trauma from previous experiences because you made bad decisions in the men you dated. Like, if we're completely honest, that's generally where it comes from. But let's keep going.
your end goals? Like, what do y'all want to be? Do you guys want to be somebody's wife? What do you want to be?
Yeah, see, we talk about that all the time on the show. Sometimes I don't really know if I necessarily want to get married.
Do you want to have kids?
I do want to have kids, but I'm not sure if I want to get married.
So why do you... This is my question.
Okay.
Why... Do you want to have kids?
Hell no!
She always say she don't want to have kids.
Liquor to drink. I got too much shit to do.
But why? Okay, so you don't want to have kids. So, okay, you a different story. But you...
Okay.
You want to have kids, but you don't know if you want to get married. So that means that you already going to be... You're planning to already bring this child into... And have a deficit in their life, right?
Wow.
I mean, I feel like if I find the right person, we could get married. I just... Sometimes I don't really have a lot of faith in
But do you have
these
to find
niggas.
the right person to have the baby?
I do think I have to find the right person to have a kid, but I also feel like I'm in a position where I'm doing things for my own, so I would completely be okay with having to take on that responsibility by myself as far as financial shit go if I have to.
I don't think that's okay.
Ooh, I don't think it's okay.
Oh, wow. And this is something that's especially wrong in our community. And I'm so happy light-skinned Keisha is holding it down right now. She is doing an absolutely amazing job at looking at how ridiculous this situation is. So you're willing to give a man a child, or you're willing to have a child by a dude that you don't even think is worthy to be married to. You don't see no problem. And this comes from, there's an idea called luxury ideas, right? It's called luxury ideas. And what it comes from is people promote these ideas that work for them that will not work for people that don't have the same financial situation as them, right? So an example of this is when very rich liberal people, and this isn't a political thing, right? But this happens on the right too, but this is just an example I thought of off the top of my head. Defund the police. You'll have all these rich people, these democratic, rich, very wealthy people saying, defund the police, defund the police. As soon as it happened in New York, you've seen private security skyrocket. People were moving to the Hamptons. The same people that was promoting the idea to the masses, which is mostly middle class and lower class people, were running to the Hamptons and hiring private security when they defunded the police. You can't afford to defund the police. The person who's promoting it can afford to defund the police. Another example of luxury ideas is, I don't need a man. That's a luxury idea. Saying you don't need a man is a very luxury idea. This is something that is very first world, very Western. You go to a lot of third world countries, you don't have a choice but to have a man in your life because it requires manual labor, right? So like these ideas are promoted by people that are outside. Like Cardi B will say, I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you how I got you all this and that. She'll tell you that, but then she'll cook and clean for her husband. These people are happy at promoting these ideas to you that they have absolutely no real belief in. And it's the virtue signal to the people around them. They're doing it for their own social clout. So like some of these, and I'm just not being political here, I'm just saying some of these Democratic candidates or representatives, they'll say things that are absolutely ridiculous, but they can afford to say them and go through with them. But the masses can't do that. And it happens on the right too. I just can't think of any ideas at the moment or any examples, but this is an example of that. Let's keep going though.
Okay, neither, but I feel like it's the reality of like the generation that we live in, because I just feel like that's how most of these niggas are. I do.
No, those are the niggas that you going after. You got to find somebody that's going to.
But I don't really be going after nobody. It be the people that be coming after me. I don't go. If we being honest, like I don't go chase these niggas. It be the niggas that be trying to talk to me.
Well, not necessarily go after, but I'm saying like. These obviously, if you're giving your attention to these people, then you know what I'm saying? That's what's going, but I just feel like women, we have to take accountability as far as like where we're giving our attention to. You know what I'm saying? The type of man that we're giving our attention to.
I agree.
I want marriage to be a thing again. I want women to feel like they should be able to get married because y'all deserve that. Why not? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I want it to be a thing again too. I talk about it all the time on the show, how I grew up in a 2-parent household. My parents were married my whole life, but I just feel like niggas don't be built like how my daddy was no more. They really don't.
But are women built how your mother was? Right? Men aren't built how your dad was, but are women built how your mother was is the more important example. Because she wants to push this all on men saying, oh, I don't choose who comes into my DMs. I'm not seeking out these men. No, you don't seek them out. But as a woman, your burden in society is to choose the right people. As men, our burden in society is to create civilizations for women and children to be safe. And as women, your duty is to give birth to the next generation of civilization builders. That's your duty. So you have the responsibility to vet the men that are in your DMs to pick the right ones. Unfortunately, a lot of women have shallow standards. It's based on height. It's based on what you're wearing. It's based on what you're driving. And so you end up with guys that leave you because you're not looking for the right things in men. And it's crazy. And so we're trying to push this over on men and saying, oh, it's the men that are in my DM seeking me out. Yeah, men are supposed to seek you out. That's what we do naturally. But it's up to you as a woman to decide which man is worth the attention. And you're giving the attention to the wrong men, obviously, if you have no faith in all men because of your own bad experiences.
I feel you, but there are some dudes out there that's built like that, and it's gonna take time, but
you can find one.
But time is kind of ticking.
I guess I just feel like it just be crazy because me being a single woman, literally, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, like half the men that are in my DMs be married. Yeah. So I'll be like, is this what I have to look forward to? Like,
so let me ask you something. Do you think that all men cheat?
I do.
We both do.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We're tainted.
Done.
We are. This is a counseling session.
It is.
We are tainted.
All men don't cheat.
Yes.
I'm gonna say that.
You want a shot here?
That's facts.
All men don't cheat.
Okay,
Facts.
I will say this. I have been in situations.
But do you feel like all men have cheated? Because that's what I mean.
Okay,
when I
so
say
this is what I'm gonna say.
cheaters.
Like, this is what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
When you find like, okay, so do I feel like all men have cheated probably prior into like in their early relationships?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't
Okay.
know. I can't speak for all men in all relationships.
Right.
I can only speak on the experiences that I've been through. But I will say this, like the relationship that I'm in now, our problems are not infidelity. Our problems are not you are not. It's not about who DMs you in and who's in your DMs and da 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 da. We don't have those problems. Our problems is you were supposed to upload that content or we were supposed to get work. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's our problems. But that's because we understand each other, and I feel like, but the problem is nowadays though, a lot of girls don't even get to know these guys that they're trying to pursue either. So it's both on both ends. Like nobody's trying to really get to know each other. Everybody just kind of dating people for what they see and what they got.
Right.
Me and my boyfriend, we were best friends, and honestly, we didn't even like each other. Like never even.
So how long
imagined.
y'all friends before y'all started dating?
We probably been friends maybe like 7 years or so, 7 to 8 years.
Wow,
Yeah, 7 to 8 years. I met him maybe in like 2012, honestly. So realistically, like honestly, almost about 10 years.
Right.
Yeah,
Y'all were friends for a while.
Yeah, we've been friends for a while. So that's what I'm saying. So it's like we don't look at it as like he knows like, okay, say this, like if one of us hurt each other, it's not hurting our boyfriend or girlfriend. We hurting our dog. Like, you know, that's my partner. Like, you know, like that's my best friend.
what you're saying.
So it's a different type of situation, but you got to get to know these people.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that a lot of women or men be getting to really know, like, okay, well, what's your flaws or what are you damaged by? You know, like why you got to, you know what I'm saying? Why do you think that all men cheat?
Well, we do say like the type of men that you're supposed to date, like you supposed to date somebody that has ambition, that can do stuff for you, but a lot of things get misconstrued on this podcast because a lot of times people think we're saying like you're supposed to have everything needs to be transactional, and we do not condone that.
We don't subscribe
like,
to that.
Because a lot of women nowadays want like transactional things, like you have to do A, B, C, D, E, F, and it's like
fuck with me,
right?
And if
they
you're
don't
not
offer
doing
anything.
it, I'm not gonna fuck with you,
right? So I feel like a lot of times, you know, women go into relationships and they need somebody to like take care of them. They're looking for somebody to save them.
Yeah.
And no, women demand those things from men that don't meet their physical criteria. And when I say physical criteria, I mean, is he tall enough? No? Oh, then he has to buy me drinks and has to take me out on dinners and do this and that. Because I have a friend that's 6'5", attractive, tall, muscular dude, and he don't have these hurdles to jump through. I'm going to just be completely honest. When women see him, they're not saying you have to make this amount of money, you have to drive this, you have to do this. I'll see women that have children by bums that now all of a sudden they want to have standards. And I'm like, you gave your womb to a dude that had none of the things that you say you require. But now when it's a good guy coming along that actually wants to be a part of your life, you got all these requirements. I'm not saying you shouldn't have requirements. I'm saying it should be across the board if you're actually going to have those requirements. Because a lot of guys find out that you don't have those requirements for everybody. Women don't have those requirements for everybody. They only have those requirements for the bottom 70% of men. So if you're a regular looking dude, then yeah, you got to buy dinners, you got to buy drinks. But if you're my friend that's 6'5" and attractive guy, you ain't got to do all that. You just got to show up. So that whole women are progressively trying to look for more things in men, no, that's not true. You're giving yourselves to the men that look this kind of way, and then you're expecting the other men to jump through hoops and hurdles to get the same attention or the same treatment.
And then what are you doing in return?
Right. See,
yeah, I say that all the time.
What type of woman are you? I want to know. Like what you would do if you're in a relationship. Like what you do.
What
like,
you mean?
Like what can you bring to the table?
I feel like I make my own money. I'm bossing up. Like I got my own shit going on. That's what I can bring to the table. Plus, I'm a loving person. I'm gonna take care of the household. I'm gonna make sure shit's straight in the house.
I'm bossing
Absolutely.
up.
Do you suck dick? Do you suck dick good?
I do
you
suck
have good
dick
pussy?
good. I won a dick sucking contest a few years ago.
#1 head doctor.
probably not something your future husband wants to hear on the
It
internet.
was a deal though. It wasn't a real
Okay.
deal.
Okay.
It was
Now, me on the other hand,
Bingo. And this is another point. I'm sorry. I know this is going to be a little bit longer video. I hope y'all got the attention spans, but this is part of it. You put out videos of yourself doing that doing what she said she just did. I ain't got to repeat it, right? Y'all heard it. You put that video out into the internet and you get 100 DMs, right? How many of those DMs do you think are from men that want to be in a long-term relationship? Or do you think that those are men that just want to get sucked off? You put that out into the world, and women don't understand the things that you put out into the world is gonna be what you receive back. If you put out this image, yeah, you're gonna get more attention, but most of that attention is gonna be from guys that are bad candidates. If you want a long-term relationship, of course. You can't put out videos of yourself giving mouth to mouth, or mouth to, what other thing, and expect good pics in your DM. Like, that makes no sense. And then these women, like she said, she has no faith in men. Because all of her pics, the guys in her DM, you're posting videos of yourself doing that. What men do you think you're going to attract? And then there you go. You start disliking men because you feel like most of them are bad or untrustworthy. When truly, like I said again, you're just picking the wrong ones. You're putting the wrong things out into the world.
I'm gonna order your hookah. How you want your steak cooked? You want me to make dinner? I'm gonna make a reservation. Okay, no, wait, calm down.
Bingo.
Because I feel like a lot of times in relationships, you know what? You want somebody to clean, I'm gonna call the maid.
So they all just agreed that the men that exist today are no longer like her father. They're not providing or doing the things that her father used to do. And do you think that her mother cooks? I guarantee you her mother cooks. So basically they're saying, I guarantee you her mother wouldn't have put something in her mouth and then put it on the internet for everybody to see. That's not something her mother would have done. So yeah, men may not be behaving like your father used to, but are women behaving like your mother used to? And a lot of people don't have that self-reflection. They just want to blame the next person or the next race or the next gender or whatever it may be. But are you doing the things that your mother used to do? And from what I'm hearing so far, no.
You want somebody to cook, I'm gonna call the chef. But you need somebody to talk to, I'm that girl.
So you a listening ear.
I'm a listening ear, but I am a good friend. Like, honestly, because you know how I am.
So you feel like that's what you bring to the relationship?
Yes,
You a good
because
friend
it's more,
to your
the
nigga.
money, who cares about money? Like, whatever. The money coming in, like, all that stuff is superficial.
Right.
Like, okay, yeah, you can make some pasta, bitch. Like, it's a lot of bitches out here cooking, but they don't make good partners. And a lot of men, that's what they do. They want to be like, oh, can you cook? Can you clean? Okay, but what else?
Right.
There's more to being a woman than that. And I feel like that's what people have watered being a good woman down to, is cooking and cleaning. You know what I'm saying?
But I feel like this. No, I definitely agree. But I also feel like this, when women are constantly like, oh, you got to give me something, you got to give those type of women. It's also like, okay, well, what can you bring to the table?
Exactly.
Because
if you're
not like a lot of women, like say for instance, we can get to the whole bills thing. Do you think that a man should pay all your bills?
Not if you...
Are we living together or are we not together?
If y'all living together, you think you should pay your bills?
I think that he should be taking care of like the rent, mortgage, and I'll take care of the small shit. That's what I think is fair. That's how I've done in my past for situations. Because I've lived with a man before. Okay. So he was taking care of the things and I was doing the smaller shit.
I do feel that way. I'm not going to lie.
What? You feel like he should take all our bills?
Yeah, because if not, then I could just live by myself like I'm already doing.
Yeah, but you're going to set yourself up to get kicked out too.
Oh. What you mean, how?
And let me get into this too, because she just said, I'm a boss. I'm a boss. A man should want me. I bring to the table. I'm a boss, this and this and that. But what does a man get from that? Men don't care about how much you make because we don't benefit from that. We don't see any of that. Look at what she just said. She's a boss. She makes all this money, but she expects the man to pay all the bills. So why would that be something that's included in what you bring in to the table? That's not something that you bring to the table. That's something you're keeping to yourself because you're being selfish. I'm supposed to value you because you're a boss ass bitch and this and this and that, but you're not willing to pay any of the bills. So how is that something that you're bringing to the table?
Because I feel like this. I don't believe that.
Okay, what do you think? So you think you should split things?
I feel like whatever works for your... First of all, let me say this, because I know that they might get this misconstrued. Whatever works for you, works for you. But there's a lot of women that are missing the points, though, here. At the end of the day, if you live with a man, that's okay, right? But if you're putting all this responsibility, it's so many women that's like, oh yeah, he should pay all the bills. Okay, so what are you doing? So that's when it comes into, okay, well, what are you doing for him? Oh, I can. Even the basic factors are cooking, cleaning, taking care of the household, right? Or taking care of the kids or whatever the case may be. But then you have all these women talking about they got their hand out, but baby, you don't even know how to cook. And even if you do know how to cook, your food is nasty. That's why he going to his side bitch getting the other meal.
I'm not gonna lie, niggas ankles be
She's going crazy. She's holding it down.
But I'm saying, but no, I'm not saying. But if you're willing to learn how to cook, then okay. But I'm saying, but you don't think that all men should pay all the bills.
But I will say, because the responsibility of running a household, especially when you're dealing with a BDB, that's a lot. So you gotta run the household.
She lying. She do feel like niggas is supposed
but
to pay all the bills.
No, I said he's supposed to pay because honestly, that mortgage, that rent, that shit a lot. You supposed to pay the big bills, but like the little stuff, I'm gonna make sure the house is running straight. This nigga don't. If I'm buying groceries, $200, $300 a week, whatever, I can go get that. That ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Paying the light bill, paying the water bill, that shit is going to be taken care of, because that's little stuff comparing to the big shit that he got handling. As long as he knows he can come home, his lights is on, everything is good. You're supposed to make niggas' life easier. I do agree with that.
Well, I think that's a part of taking care of the household.
That's exactly what it is. And guys, this is probably where I'm going to end it. And I want to give them credit for this. Because this is a good conversation. A lot of these female podcasts, and even this one included, a lot of it is sexual. Women will say we don't want to be sexually objectified and this and that. If you look at all the top 10 podcasts that women have, they're all talking about sex all day. That's all they talk about. Right? So it's great that light-skinned Keisha came in here and gave a different perspective, gave a different conversation, and one I think that we should be having more often, right? And we found a lot of inconsistencies in how they're thinking, if we're completely honest. But I will say this, and I'll give them credit for this. Now, I do believe that they're taking this criticism because it's a woman. If it was a man, this podcast wouldn't be able to happen because it'd be too much emotion involved. Anytime a man says something to a woman nowadays, it's the patriarchy or he's being misogynistic. So we need more women like this that's able to sit down and have these conversations with women to hold them accountable for the things that they even think. You say you bring to the table that you're a boss, but you're not willing to pay bills. That's not a contradiction. You say you want to have children, but you don't want to get married because you've had horrible experiences in the past. You want to have children, but no marriage? That's a luxury idea. That doesn't work out for most people. Most women can't afford a $250,000 liability, and that's what a child is. It costs $250 to raise a child from 0 to 18 in the U.S. Can you afford that? No. That's a luxury idea. You will become a part of the poorest demographic in America, and that is single mothers. And this is the reason why black folks are losing in America. We got to do better with this. We have to build families. We need family structure. That's how you build strong communities. We don't do it through individuals just seeking pleasure all day. It's not going to be the fun, thrilling experience that you have with every different dude. No. But it's going to be fulfilling at the end because it takes a lot of hard work to get to it. Anything that's fulfilling at the end takes a lot of hard work to get to it. If you want to diet, it takes a lot of hard work. You have to not eat the cake, right? But then when you lose the 50 pounds, you feel a lot better and you can look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I look good. You want to make more money. It sucks to work the extra 2 hours at your job. But you put the extra 2 hours in, and then when you get your check, you say, oh, this is pretty fulfilling. This feels pretty good to have a little bit more on my check. It sucked during the moment, but at the end of the day, it paid off. Most of the things that are fun during the time you're doing it don't really pay off. And so we need to stop promoting these luxury ideas that you can just, it's just absolutely ridiculous. Strong families build strong communities, and strong communities build strong countries. It just is what it is. Till next time.